Okay, can you start the screen sharing process? Like, just share the screen and let me see how it goes.
Sure. Yeah, it's trying to upload right now, and man, it is like hanging.
Yeah, depending on what quality you set it to, like when you record it can be quite huge. Right, so you said you goal 2, right? And goal
Currently,
1 now. Alright, let's see.
Killjoy bombs on default. What Killjoy? Let me go, let me go. I said clear. One's like raptors or something.
Reloading.
Alright, so just first thing, just pause the VOD right now. So in the last 10 seconds, you played pretty aggressively, but you didn't pay attention to your positioning. Like, you have to think about where your body is and where they can see you from. So you haven't smoked off, but the angle is not safe. They can push in from heaven. And you are in a position where they can see you if they do so, but you can't fire or do anything because you're focused on the other side of the map, right? Just
oh, okay.
take that into consideration. Like in this scenario, when the area is smoked off completely, it probably doesn't even matter because like that push is so risky. They probably not gonna be worth to do so, right? Like the enemy might not do it, but it is a risk play that can reap rewards if you don't think about your positioning. Because like look at the minimap right now. None of you are watching heaven, and you're all thinking, right? It's smoked off, so it probably doesn't even matter, right? So
Mhm.
just keep notice on where you can be seen from when you're taking angles. Keep
Okay.
yeah, play the word.
Yeah, I was actually concerned that somebody was like left side, hiding behind the sign there because no one checked the left angle either.
Yeah. I think there was a person like with a Wendell that checked it. I think I saw the glitch pop skip, not sure which gun was it.
Find us in heaven. I have sight. Ping bomb. If you...
Placing swarm grenade. Swarm grenade.
Ping, he still got on sight. I Killjoy.
Placing swarm
Right of sight. To a lot sight. There's ping bomb.
Okay. This is exactly what I was like talking about. Like no one was carrying for angles. The wall just went down, and you got surprised there was actually an enemy there. It's a bad situation, however you look at it. Like not paying attention to like where the enemies could be can be like really dangerous. So like always try to consider where an enemy could have pushed from and where an enemy could have entered the site from. On defense, like you have like a let's say a row of your allies, so you can like look at their positions and sort of eliminate the possibilities where enemies might be. But yeah, let's see what next we can do.
Okay.
These are just like bad luck. No one was covering the angles and
They can't defuse.
mistakes happen. What can you do?
Come around, pillar.
player standing.
No time. Oh no, they got time. No, they don't.
Alright.
That works. I think they're dead too, right? Nice.
Oh, nice. That's good.
They may have had time.
No, our Molly stuff. I don't think they had time.
Yo, I got all. Buy yourself some judges and we'll rush fucking site.
Okay.
You just fucking get into my ult with the judge. If we get sight though, we gotta get sight. If some of it's only buy rifles so we can.
Okay, I will. So I can. I can't really buy much.
If you can full buy a rifle then. And say full buy rifle. We need a few rifles.
I'm just gonna force a Spectre, I guess.
Shit, I gotta do this
I don't have
shit.
that much KD.
Just go for sight. Everyone go sight.
Go.
Go.
Watch out.
Placing
Oh fuck. Do we rotate here? I don't think.
Yeah, let's
I don't
rotate.
I don't think pushing a Viper.
Watch out, one could be Suez.
It's a bad habit to look at the floor when you're running. It makes your crosshair
Oh,
placement
wait,
off.
another one close? Are you serious?
Sort of try to.
Oh,
Yeah, I mean it's a bad habit. So like to
Wait,
get
that
into
one-
the
wait,
mood
so
and
there
like
was a B
getting into
player,
the
go.
good habit
Oh,
side
one
of
is
the
gonna be
game,
heaven.
always try to
He's
keep
not
the
heaven.
crosshair
Close left.
in head level and follow corners as you're about
There
to
you go. Keep
like
going,
run.
running.
It's just a good habit to
32.
have, and it's gonna help you immensely.
Yeah, I noticed I was doing it halfway through. If you saw that.
One rappers at least. Jet's on pillar somewhere.
Plant.
Watch out, Jet's
Again,
close.
which you said, no one checked backside.
Placing swarm
One enemy remaining.
Nice, last one.
Round's yours,
I don't
probably,
know.
right?
Could be flank actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
swarm grenade out.
But they just got ecoed.
Alright, that's
Yes, they did.
pretty okay. Do you have any questions, anything? Like anything falling on your mind?
No, I do remember what I was thinking this entire time. Like, no one was watching our flank, and so I was trying not to overlap, covering certain angles, right? So you saw everybody was like kind of pushed towards CT, but nobody
Yeah.
was back toward flank. So that's why I moved back that way and then found the jet.
Yeah.
And then I thought that one might have been heaven and jumped down toward boxes, so that's why I started moving over
Yeah,
that way.
that was an awkward angle since you had the killjoy turret. I wasn't able to tell if it had the angle on the heaven and the drop right below it.
Right, because they could have just came in through the smoke, and the
Yeah.
killjoy drone wouldn't have even seen it.
I think we go. I think we go mid B maybe. Yeah, let's go mid to B maybe.
Nice thing about Vipers on eco rounds, dude. If you can, anyone buys a judge, dude, her ult is pretty much.
Yeah, it's so good.
Yeah, dude.
Reloading.
Are you pre-made with someone from the game?
Oh yeah, the
Omen CT.
the Phoenix.
Yeah, I assume because you flashed for him
One might be close.
and so on.
Hell.
One CT.
I call it out every time I play Omen on this site though.
CT right now.
Yeah, I understand.
Plant. We gotta watch heaven.
Cover me.
So many heaven. 3 heaven at least. 120 on Viper.
Look at where you're placing the crosshairs. Like you're not keeping it focused, so to say.
Raptors.
You're always
Yeah,
in
I'll
the position where you have to flick to get to the enemy.
More heaven.
Okay.
Look at now. Like your crosshair is not at head level, so like no matter who peeks, you have to flick.
Nice.
It's again like it just forces you to have more actions than you have to, right? Like the ideal placement of the crosshair is always at head level. The only way like it goes down and up is when you have to deal with elevation, say like there's some stairs or something, right? But like right now, you were looking at like approximately the waist to the chest area before that Viper came in through the smoke. Yeah, just keep it going and I'll tell you when to pause.
One CT.
Like right, this is okay. Like you're looking down at the bottom angle, it's fine. Like there you have to guess because it's a weird angle. But like now when you turn, when you like see the Reyna and the Viper pushes through the smoke, look at where you're holding the crosshair, right?
120 on Viper.
Like first off, what is this? Like when you flick to the left side, like I understand, Jet might be pushing to the smoke, you're concerned about that. But then you kill Reyna, you're looking at Jet dies, and you look back at the Viper wall. Look at where your crosshair is. That is definitely not the level of like head, right? Like
Okay.
it's a bad idea to do so. So like let's just examine this. When you hold angles on like you hold an angle, like you expect an enemy to push you from, right? You want to hold the crosshair on head level with some space between your crosshair and the wall. Like you do this to place some space because you're expecting the enemy to, let's say, walk by. So what do? Let's consider this. You like looking at a corner. The enemy might just walk around it. So this means like holding shift. So if you don't hear footsteps, they're gonna move relatively slowly. This means you want to put your crosshair close to the wall. But the thing is, if they run like no hold shift, right? They're gonna sway their bodies real fast. So you're gonna again have to flick because it's like really hard if you're closing an angle too close to just shoot on reaction. The bodies move quite fast here, unless you like hit them and then they stop due to the movement penalty from getting shot at, right? So like the ideal placement for crosshairs depends on what information you have. Personally, if I don't have information where the enemies are, I'm gonna hold the crosshair at the head level, but I'm gonna let myself have some space. So I'm gonna move my crosshair a bit to the side from the wall. Like head level, but a bit more to the side. And if I know an enemy is gonna push me by walking, I'm gonna close that gap and put my crosshair like almost on the wall, like just a small niche, because I expect him to walk by or jiggle peek or whatever, and then I'm gonna get a shot. Like you're constantly thinking, how am I going to reduce my job, how many actions I need to kill someone? And in this flick where you flick back to Viper, you're again shooting a chest area instead of like aiming for the head. And when she pushes in, you have to fire like 4 shots to get her, or you have to flick the crosshair back up to get on the head level. So like that's the thing to consider, right? Always try to minimize the actions you need to take to get a kill. That is the most optimal solution. So let's go next. Let's just keep the video playing and let's see.
Okay.
More.
Real quick.
Yeah.
So I understand what you're saying. So are you saying that in this particular instance, so what I was doing, I know the crosshair placement in this one was really off. I was using my peripheral vision to try and watch CT and Heaven at the same time. So are you saying that I should have committed head level to like rafters instead of checking CT at all?
Well, I mean, look at this position right now. You can't really see anything due to the gun's model. Like, it's kind of hard to
Sure.
react on it. And because of the Viper's wall, and you all have a Viper there watching it, you can rely on your teammate to at least take an angle. Yeah, you can hold peripheral vision, but it just like you're trying to watch both angles, but you losing the trades, because if someone peeks you and they have relative knowledge or they're just checking your angle, you have a huge action to flick, but they just need to shoot you or pre-fire you, right? And like, let's be honest, you're playing a spot that's very common, right? Like this is not an off spot or like a cheese spot that you probably don't check in the heat of the moment. This is like a really common spot, right? So
Uh-huh.
holding peripheral vision literally puts you at a disadvantage. And in this game, you want to take every single advantage you want. So I would personally play this by holding a crosshair on one of the sides, either one. But I do that depending on where my teammates are looking at, and I'm playing it on sounds. So if I, let's say, hear someone in CT, I am gonna try and flick it because I'm greedy, right? I'm like letting go of my angle, but it's so to I ensure that my teammate and I get the kill. But holding it in peripheral vision, I feel like is like a jack of all trades, but a master of none, where you can't really do anything at the good level or good enough that you can secure a kill, right? Like this is my way of
Okay.
thinking about it. I'd rather commit and count on my teammates to hold the angles that they're already holding, rather than like hold something in between and try to check constantly in between the two of the sites, right? I hope
Okay.
you
Yeah,
understand
that
what.
makes sense.
Yeah.
So with the Viper wall, the correct play probably would have been to watch CT then. Since the Viper had the angle on Heaven, I should have watched
Yeah.
CT. Okay, that makes sense.
Tried to take like a 1 pick and there's 3 there.
Yeah, I think that was our eco too. Oh, we don't. Oh, I can buy you. Let me buy. Or wait.
Yo, we can go B again. We have Killjoy. I can get the
Who
horse.
bought you? Edco?
I did.
I don't know.
Edco Remax.
I was at
Why don't I use
69.
Yeah, and again, I'm telling you this, but it's like really good for warm up
let me get
and
the
for
orb
like
and I'll
getting
Killjoy
into
out.
the good
So we can go.
habit zone. Just always like while you're running, even with the knife out, try to hold the crosshair at the head level and follow the
They
corners
have
as you
Viper on
turn them.
FYI.
Yeah.
Okay.
Someone
Yeah,
wants me
now
to get the
this is
orb.
what you did is unsafe.
So
Just
this-
keep that in mind. Where you just were, if someone peeked,
Our ult-
you could probably get killed on that spot, right? If you're hugging
Okay.
the wall.
Ranger close. She went away. She's going heaven or something. 1-7. Nice. We can res. Just come plant. Oh, one backside.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Alright, so this is more for Phoenix's fault because he didn't check the
Alright.
corner.
I fucked myself.
Like it
No,
makes
no,
you.
he mauled you.
You shouldn't have to do it,
I'm
but
in flank.
he like forced you to check corners that he didn't check, and you
Oh,
got
guys,
caught.
Uh-huh.
rotate here.
Like as a duelist
Yeah,
in this situation, he needed to check the corners first, as he's the first one entering in. And also, like the thing to
Right.
consider, especially on this map, like this is like a Sage wall that is commonly placed. I don't know if you pre-made with Sage or not, but
No.
yeah, never mind. It's like a wall that you want to try avoid. if you can, because it forces you in a really bad spot. Like the ideal way to do this wall is to split and then place it. You know, because if you like just place the wall and push with 5 people, you are stuck in a corridor where you can get caught by killjoy mollies and like literally any area denying utility. So like that wall is pretty good, but only if you manage to get at least one person on the other side of that wall. Like you
Oh,
you,
okay.
you, you want to split the push, like you want to go front and to the right of the garage door. So you split the push and force more angles. But if you don't,
Oh.
like you as you're leaving the garage, right? Like you can go front and take the pillar, or you can go to the right and force more angles. You from this way you can like look at CT, you can look at heaven. So it's a good angle to take. But the problem is that if all 5 people are on the same side of the sage's wall, any area denying utility, such as Molly, such as Phoenix Fire, anything, literally hard stops your push or even gets a few kills on you. So just keep that in mind. Like if you're playing Sage on this map, like a good thing is to like wall yourself on the wall so you can just hop off once your teammates push in and you push in, right? Or if you like play Jet or something, I usually just dash around, or if I'm a duelist, I tend to go to the right instead of the front. It's just a
Oh,
thing to
interesting.
consider.
Yeah, I never see anybody push on the other side of the wall. That's interesting. Okay.
Not mid.
Not enough fuel.
I think Viper was somewhere.
Toxins going up.
Okay, you just
1 second,
skip
1 second.
the
On my flank, yeah.
like 5-10 seconds, whatever. Yeah.
Could be on site actually.
I'd rather focus on you than on randoms.
Yeah, he's on. Compared to like a planner box, like you
Yeah.
know, like on.
As long as we get a sight, we win.
Let's see what we can do here.
Sage, can you pre-aim this right here? So I don't get fucked.
Crossfire with me.
Sorry, I'm gonna throw my thing there too. Oh, it's hurt. I'm
We
coming.
still got AR. I can just wall it for you.
I got my orb still.
Okay.
So I'm gonna do a lazy wall quick, 1 sec.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, look at this. You just peeked the ramp, and it was pretty bad. Like you looked at the bottom of the ramp, so you wouldn't even be able to get a shot on anyone if they were there. And since Phoenix was like holding it from the right, I'm not sure if he's able to cover the whole ramp, especially the right wall from our side on the ramp. So it's like, again, try always to look at head level, and this is like a case of height differences that changes where you need to aim at. So what happens here?
Let's see where's my real flank.
Okay, you just came back to a rotation.
Res.
Alright, so this is just like it's late in the round and you had no
Well, another one could be in our
proper
spawn. Watch
wall
out,
or
Kobe.
anything, so you just snuck in. Okay,
Okay, nice pick, Killjoy. Keep going.
let's
I
see.
mean, we don't. I'm not gonna use my ult. Just get sight.
9 seconds to smoke.
For you.
Keep going. I'm gonna wall
I
it.
genuinely wonder, what's your DPI? Like, what settings do you use on the mouse?
30 seconds left.
I think it's 800 DPI 0.23, something like that.
Alright, so just wondering, is this like something recent? Like a recent change in DPI? Or is this something you've used for a longer time?
Fairly regularly.
Okay, so like I mean, from my perspective, you suffer from lazy aim, but it's something that you might just have as a bad habit. Like you don't go around corners fully, and this can happen if like someone changes their DPI to a lower sense that they usually used to, so like they don't do the full motion, let's say. Like, but it might be nothing. It might be me just looking into you, like when you're autopiloting or something, just like going around corners, not paying attention too much, not being like hyper focused or something. So, but just keep that in mind. Like, you always want to check corners to the fullest you can. Like, just write this down somewhere, wherever. I mean, it's so important. If you're playing the game and you want to like get good habits in, always follow corners and always keep the crosshair head level. Like, there's literally no need, even when you're running with like a knife, to keep the crosshair on anything but the head level. It just keeps your game on much more precise and everything. Like you're much more focused. You have less things to worry about if you always keep the crosshair at head level. Let's keep going.
Watching side.
Okay.
Backside, backside.
Raptors.
Okay, this is exactly what I was talking about. Look how H pushed in and got an angle.
Watch, like, 10 minutes, 10 minutes.
Like
What were
around
you
the
saying?
Look how Sage pushed to the right of the garage and got a kill on Killjoy because she was expecting everyone to push the default push.
Keep going. I'm gonna wall
Like
across.
we discussed this literally a couple of minutes ago, right? Like she pushes in through the smoke to the right side of the garage door and just
Oh,
fires
yep.
shots. Because like when you on defense there, you're thinking they're gonna push from default side. But it's late in the round, so I'm betting that Sage didn't have a wall at this time.
Yeah.
But it's like something you usually need to consider.
She's lit, 89. No, didn't heal.
Got her.
Nice. Alright, use my, judge around this one. Actually, did they force?
Yeah, they're kind of, yeah, they're damn broke.
They're gonna force this round, I think. I'm gonna
Do you do
judge.
any aim
Let's
practice,
just go
like
be up for it,
aim
be up
labs
for
or
it.
something?
We know Vipers. Well, I'm gonna put a fake wall.
Yeah.
Okay.
This should go all the way.
Dude, I'm only getting assists. What is it?
I usually do aim labs, and then I go to the practice range, just like click heads for like 5 minutes, and then I do 2 death matches, and then I play ranked.
Okay, okay.
Walk this.
Your builds, are you there?
Grab on.
It's like mid or something.
Walk, walk, walk.
He's really holding the
Alright,
bush
let's
over
go.
you, bro.
Let's go.
For real.
Yeah, you see this? You just peeked the left corner, but you didn't even peek it at head level, right?
Yeah.
Oh, Jack,
Like, why if someone's there, they're looking at head level as you do that. Even if you get a shot or two, you're probably gonna die.
Enemy remaining.
Okay, 2 clean kills, that's fine.
Heaven.
Heaven. CT side. And CT and CT.
Oh, fuck. He's hit 114. Super lit.
He's probably just trying to save, but
Just don't peek, don't peek. Activate your swarms and run. There you go.
yeah, you can just TP across. There, never mind.
Go round, boys. Yep. Come on, buddy. It's a good boy. Want a treat? Want a treat? Come here. It's a good boy.
You buy Mecca?
Also, like, a thing to consider, you got 2 kills here, but you got from like a full spray, right? Sometimes it might be better to reset the recoil.
Bro, why is Viper scared
Especially
of
if you
Killjoy?
like practice a lot of aim labs and
Yeah, I don't
something,
know.
because even in like those modes, you rarely
We
practice
can
full
go-
auto fire, right?
Yeah.
Like you generally practice with like a one shot
Sage,
or like a
when we get
semi-automatic
B7, can you
weapon.
just wall upstairs
And
when we
that's-
get there?
Like that can translate the best to like Vandals and something, where you just like tap fire 2 bullets and reset.
Omen close.
Yeah, I do that a lot in deathmatch.
Keep going.
Yeah, yeah.
Flash. Wall it, Sage.
That's on.
Nice. Killed
Alright, again, like you just went to vents and you were looking at their feet.
Side clear, side clear. Comes. Viper heaven, Viper heaven.
And then
Alright. Yeah, you just gotta work on
Viper
crosshair
20 on
placement.
the-
I mean, even if you understand it, just like force it on yourself to like get a habit out of it. I don't know how else to
Dude, I
explain
had it
it
for
really.
120. I don't know what it
Okay.
doing. It just keeps
And especially like if you play like a lot of like aim practice, you still need to practice movement and how to convert the aim practice you get from the game into the match itself, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like you need to move, you need to peek angles properly, you need to contest angles. Like flicking is not really something you're gonna face all that much. Like usually when you're peeking angles, you like expect an enemy to be somewhere, and then there's like recent plus or minus on your aim to like go a bit more to the right, a bit more to the left. It's rarely like just doing a huge flick. It's not that those situations don't happen. It's just that it's more rare. Again, like you see how like lazy you
heavy
peek
flare.
the aim. Like you don't check corners fully
be
and
good.
stuff of that sort. I can try to
know what
demonstrate
it
it in
is.
like a custom game or
Play this fight
something
right here on
and
this
stream
on
it,
my right.
just so you get an example out of it.
We're in a CT.
Okay.
Yeah, this is just a bad habit as well to toss out utility because you have like a
Viper.
second where you can't shoot. You tossed out your flash and immediately it peaked,
One enemy
Got omen sight.
and
Last one, like
you
Vents or
didn't
something,
have
I
the
heard.
gun out.
Yeah, on ramps, on ramps. I can get him. A Viper.
Again,
Right here on this on my right.
like consider how you're peeking it. Like the movement is kind
Should be
of
good.
off on the rain.
I don't know where that is.
Play this fight right here on this on my right.
Bold flank. We're in a CT. A Viper.
Okay, yeah.
Screens.
One enemy
Got omen
remaining.
sight. Last one's like Vents or something, I heard him. Yeah, on ramps. I can get him.
Look, it might like look to you that like if,
Oh, he
as if
thought-
I
he
was like
thought.
attacking you or something, but I'm just pointing out small mistakes that can cost you like a round, let's
Last
say.
round in the half.
So don't take it personally, just like something you need to pay attention to.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not taking it personally. This is good info. I don't think I realized how much I was doing it,
Sure.
but I definitely see that I'm doing it the entire match.
Yeah.
Up until the round starts for sure, and then even after that, even after the round starts, every time I rotate.
Dude, because it's a fucking pistol round. No, dude, I come back from pistol rounds all the time.
Yeah, pistol rounds.
There's games where I only lose the pistol rounds. Flash.
Welcome to
Well,
my
off that. Yep.
Rotate. We're not.
I don't like how you push
No, no,
this.
Go away.
Like you follow your
I'll
team,
make
but
team.
what if someone is in Wens, right?
Yeah.
And they're looking at mid.
Traded. Go,
Like you were running with your knife out and you didn't look at Wens. So what if that jet just like peeked out of mid once she heard like 4 players rush into heaven?
last player standing.
Empty Raptors.
It's a common aggressive play.
CT side of
I mean, if you play Omen, I assume that you were in situations where like you smoke off a heaven on like some maps, and then someone still peeks from it, like they exit the smoke and get a kill.
Yeah, that's true.
It's a risky play, but you have to like count on it. And since you're like the last guy rotating, you're the one that's supposed to cover the vent side, right?
Mhm.
If you see what I'm saying. Do you have any other words you want to show?
Sure.
Alright.
You started this one late.
Use it somewhere.
I'm breaking the wall mid. It might be an A push again, or
Alright, again, look at your crosshair placement. What if someone
Oh.
like pushes in,
I don't know, it
or
could be
just
a
like
late.
walks
I'm
in?
gonna come A with it.
Like you again have to
B.
flick
It
to
looks
the
like a B
enemy.
push.
I was assuming they'd push out of smoke.
It's a weird angle. That's a weird prediction though, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
And the pillar.
Especially like from smokes,
105.
you usually can see the gun
105
stick
Viper,
out
pillar.
as they push in
Right.
first. You have like a bit more time to react before they
Right.
can see you.
Cutter.
Like if you're holding an angle and they push from smokes, you always have the advantage. Unless you get overwhelmed, like they push with 5 people, but then like even getting a trade is worth.
I think they're A now.
They retake. They have a kill. No, they don't.
Stay back.
You can
We
go
gotta
for
play
it.
together.
Just trades moving.
No, we need to just stay together. I don't know where the hell they're going, but they might just be saving actually. I don't know where that is. That could be B actually.
I feel like you're autopiloting
Save
a
is
lot.
on B.
Yeah.
Okay, center.
So this is like an example of why having a habit of following corners might be good for you, because if you follow the corner there as you like peeked it, I assume you wanted to go
They
to
do want
heaven.
her, right?
You could have
Mhm.
found the shot on Killjoy, but since you were lazy aiming it and you weren't considering that there might be an enemy behind every corner, you didn't
Guys,
follow
push
the
together.
corner,
Yeah,
and
Killjoy's
guess
aiming, she's
Killjoy
playing
was
her
there
marbles.
holding an angle on you, and
Yeah,
you
she
just
knows
had a
lineups.
disadvantage from the start
She's
of the
gonna be
fight.
right here.
You like died immediately as a
Wait, good try.
consequence of it.
Abdul.
So yeah, it can be something to pay attention to. A good thing to like a good habit is to ask yourself why you're doing and why are you doing it. You were rotating on A here because you had an assumption that enemies are there, but you didn't follow through with the logic process to hold the crosshair at enemy headers level because they might be there as you thought in the first place, right?
Mhm.
Like a good way to break out of the autopilot mode, so to speak, is to play like a streamer, quote unquote,
Yeah, they're
I'm
there.
and
gonna
ask
go in.
yourself what you're doing at every
Alright.
like moment in the game, as if you
Oh my
like were
God.
streaming to an audience and then explaining your decision process, right?
Okay.
So it's like a good way to get out of it. People tend to fall into the autopilot mode fairly easily, like when you're not really paying attention, playing on some basic instincts you have. You're not focused, like your reaction time goes down, and so on and so on.
Okay.
Hell, this fucking. If you want. Yeah. Wait, what the fuck?
Bro, dude, what you fucking doing?
Oh, that was
Dude, so what the fuck are you doing?
the end.
Yeah. Okay.
So I have another VOD of an entire game. I think I cut that one in short for some reason.
Yeah. Show anything. I mean, we can just discuss anything really. If you want to ask me anything as well, like be free to. Like, don't be shy.
Yeah, no. So far, a lot of this is making sense, and so now I can definitely take these into my future games and make sure. Oh, where am I aiming? Am I at head level? Am I tracing corners correctly?
Yeah, I'm stumbling on my words. I haven't spoken English for the whole day, so I'm
That's all right.
mumbling a bit.
What is what's your native language?
Ah, it's Montenegrin. It's a local language.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, well, it's like a Slavic language.
Oh, nice.
It's the weirdest thing. Like I can speak both tongues properly, but if I switch in between them during the day, I get all fucked up.
Uh,
Okay. So first off, that smoke is horrible. Like, listen to me. If you're playing any smoke characters, you need to know this. That smoke is like really bad. It doesn't cover anything because heaven is not smoked off properly. It has too much space for them to peek out of the smokes. So the proper smokes here with omen, right, are to place them on the top of the car to your right. Like if you concentrate on the right side of the screen now, there's like some boxes there. It looks like that. Yeah, exactly on that car spot. You place it on the car and you cover it off heaven. It can't see where you're pushing from now. It can't see the short at all. And a good smoke to follow that up is to put it below the car towards you. So like where you put the crosshair before, like your cursor, right? But below towards us, let's say. To the right more, like where the wiper wall is. Yeah. If you place two omen smokes there, you completely cut off both heaven and cut off all of the right part of the side of the bomb site, right? And now if you have a sage, she can just like walk in, place a wall, and boom, you have a total site for free, and you can just have a free plant.
oh yeah, that makes sense. I usually smoke truck. It's only because of the Viper wall that I didn't this time, and I was trying to give cover to our shower player.
Yeah. And yeah, I mean, sure. Even you counting on Viper, you have to be careful about her walls because her walls are not always like her wall is kind of buggy, especially if it goes above boxes. they're on different heights. Like sometimes it can leave space, and you have to consider. But if you're counting on Viper on doing a job, I can see this play making a bit more sense.
There's two there.
Sure.
Reloading.
Reyna and new hall, so you can fall back. I'll watch CT. Arena. Oh, one heaven.
But like, let's consider just for a second this smoke that you placed here. I would like put it a bit more towards us, so they are forced to push in all the way into the open if they wanna peek from lamps on the short of the site. Yeah, the smoke that you place there. Just I would kind of drag it in most towards us, so they have to play way more aggressive and way more risky by sending in the open to push out. Because you placed it so deep in, they kind of could have just like walked out of the smoke and still be relatively safe because of the wall on the same position, right? Like the wall that looks towards the teleporter and so on.
Okay.
There.
Peeking heaven.
Reloading.
Just play it.
You all.
You 26. She's a Spectre. You all a Spectre.
Coming to you. KJ dropped.
One's coming. Wait, one's coming sight. One's coming sight.
One enemy remaining. Reloading.
On the site. On the site.
I'm done.
Last player standing.
Okay, so again, you were not holding an angle at head level, and the Sage pushed in. You didn't get the headshots, but you had to go for the body shots. So that was something again.
Let's go.
Just crosshair placement. We talked about it before.
Uh huh.
I will not even use my orb. I'll just keep wall up elbow as long as possible.
And I know it was risky to just run out and grab the Spectre, but I was fairly certain that Killjoy was triple boxes.
Yeah.
And I needed another
it's
gun.
fine. It's fine. I like that play, honestly. It's just that I didn't quite like the smoke. You had the numbers advantage, and you had like Sova in bathrooms, so I feel like that smoke kind of put you in a bad spot. Because if Killjoy wanted to peek you, she would have to be in a spot where Sova could see her, right?
She could be on top.
And with the smoke, you literally cut off Sova from yourself. Like Sova couldn't help you.
Right.
And also, like, to consider is that it takes some time to pull out the smoke and put it in. When, like, the smoke to explode and get the gun out. So what if, like, Killjoy peeked as you were popping the smoke? I'm not sure if I would take the risk to have all that time where I can't shoot.
One enemy
Both,
remaining.
last one.
Oh, okay.
And hookah, yeah. Nice, guys. Perfect, like.
Reloading.
On top of the wall, by the way.
Let's go egg on.
What characters do you play? You play Omen? I've seen, like, what, 2 games with him now. Do you play other smoke characters or anything else?
So I play Omen, Killjoy, Breach,
Sova, once we...
Okay.
I'm gonna ult site.
Sage.
Bomb down
Just
bomb.
depending on which character you play, like, you want to sometimes take the lead. But I see you like Omen and you play him quite defensively, so to speak. You kind of always
yeah.
are in the back and flashing for the team and so on.
Yeah.
Again, like, just look at how you're peeking with the crosshair placement. Again, like, it's kind of wavy and it's not consistently on head
We
levels.
just ult site.
Okay.
I don't have ult yet.
I mean, I'm gonna try not to keep repeating the crosshair placement thing, but it's an issue that keeps on happening. And
Got Omen. I'm dead. One backside somewhere.
Oh yeah, probably will this entire game.
yeah.
Ult, killjoy site.
Even now.
I don't even need ult, right? There's no-
And then I realized it. I was like, oh wait, I'm not aiming at head level.
Yeah.
Killjoy site, 50.
Killjoy triple, one CT.
Breach you hall.
Nice.
Breach you hall. Dude, what are you doing?
And I'm gonna ult.
He lagged out.
Yeah, I understood that.
Right now peeking. Oh, my bad.
Okay, this is important. This is something, like, people don't discuss. Go back 10 seconds and let's watch from the beginning. 10 seconds, just...
Right now left.
No,
Okay.
just... Yeah, let's see it. Look at how you're following the angle.
Right now peeking. Oh, my bad.
Like, you're not looking at anything that's useful. You're looking at the wall.
Right now left too.
If they peek, you have to reset your
If we get, like, one
aim,
pick,
right?
my ult,
Alright,
yeah, there you go.
Like, you want to
Mhm.
follow the wall, but like, not be on the wall. You want to be in the open space where an enemy can be. If you play around the corner and you're looking at a wall, it's not good enough. On this example, you are following a wall and going to the left side. You're holding the A key, right? So your crosshair needs to be to the left of the wall, in the open space next to the wall. And as you're moving, you're trying to keep it on the same spot, like just near to the wall, but not on the wall itself. Because if an enemy is there, you're looking at an enemy, and you're not looking at the wall, so you don't have to reset your crosshair by dragging it to the left. And as you peek in this example, you literally not looking at anything. If there was an enemy on top of that spot peeking at you, you would have to correct your crosshair. So that's
Okay.
something. This is something you have to work on. This is why I say to all people when they ask me that they should always, when they're running around the map, rotating, holding the knife in their hand, always run and follow corners as they pass and keep the crosshair at head level, because this is something you improve by time when you do practices like that. This is a good habit because it forces you to do such things. Because let's say now there was an enemy there, you had more work to do to get a kill, and you always want to have the advantage.
Right.
Wait,
Bridges side,
TPA? TPA?
Bridges backside, bridges backside. Yeah, let's go.
Oh, she's a. Hit 141, dude. Oh my god.
Last player standing.
Fuck me. So I get off for next round. You can grab over if you want. Yeah. Actually, I'll fuck their eco up. Try to kill him. Our eco's not terrible.
Insight.
Their Sage was one hit.
No.
Guy's
Shield.
mad. He's so
Okay,
bad.
That one hit,
so
so-
again, crosshair, and
Let's go away.
I had
careful how
141
much time you
heal
spend
cells.
looking at a wall.
Yeah, let's go.
Where
ahead.
your aim is irrelevant.
Instantly died on it.
With the lurk. The omen swing showers.
Sorry, what's irrelevant?
So you were looking at a wall for a long period of time. If they even just walked by to the right side, you would have to correct your crosshair when you were holding that spot. And when you were peeking with your full body, and you were not looking at head levels of common spots.
Okay.
Overground, so let me hold.
Okay.
Do you want help?
Just play one for my read, yeah.
I got a phantom, so I'm not gonna peek that long. Let's just go A. I'm gonna get sight. I can ult and we're balling. Shown by a judge. And I'm lagging. Come on, dude.
Nice pick. Come plant. One in the showers.
They're doubled up now.
I'm gonna push that. Brutal. I knew that.
When you peek through a smoke like that, always consider your
outside,
gun.
come outside,
Your
Riz.
gun extends above, in front of your
Dude, there's no-
body, so
Oh,
that
lot here.
when you leave a smoke, you wanna
Player standing.
Got
just
two.
push hard. You don't wanna shift. You wanna just run through it, because your nose peeks first from the gun, and then you peek. The enemies
Okay.
can see your nose before you can see them. So that's something to consider.
Enemy remaining.
You all.
Oh my god.
Nice. Let's go. Good shit.
We push those. Dude, the satchels are so overpowered against the Killjoy. Dude, it takes one satchel to break it.
That's wild.
Yeah, that's the only reason we won that round, I think. Because if I didn't break that, we would have lost.
Oh, we go B, I think.
Yeah, let's go B. You can't get picked off that long. Hey, Raina, can you come with them long? I think you need them. They need you more.
They are broke-ish.
You look how you're peeking.
One in
Again,
Hook, I
looking
think.
at the wall.
Sage is playing
It's
right
bad,
here last
Mhm.
time.
bad
Right here.
habit.
Killer, please. One back side. How am I dang?
We all die to the Sage.
There is no
Unfortunate.
we're going A or B. Oh, I give him a one.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I really don't like the shotguns on attack.
Yeah, the goal here was to try and get into lamps.
I'm in left showers. There's two.
Wait, don't peek yet, don't peek yet.
What?
Don't
Wait,
peek, don't
why is no one else showers with me?
I think our Reyna's lurking.
Yeah.
One
One's in
health,
showers.
Reyna.
Omen's in showers, dude.
One health, Reyna.
Personally, if I'm not playing like some cheese angle that I know I can hold, I usually just go for the sheriff on rounds like these. It's
Oh, okay.
It's 100 credits, like less than
I don't know what
the
you're playing. I don't know, I
Bucky,
was
but it
literally the only
provides
one
more
showers, so
versatility
what the fuck are we
for
doing?
Because our
mid and
Reyna
long
was lurking
range.
through mid.
Yeah, that makes sense. I guess I should practice with the sheriff more. I feel like every single time I'm like aiming with the sheriff, like the bullets go wherever. Like it's like it just feels to me like first bullet accuracy on the sheriff like doesn't exist.
I
Because
think,
sometimes
yeah, you get used to the gun real fast, and like you should do fine with it, especially if you do aim practice, because like that's the gun that gets the most reward out of it. It's semi-automatic, and you just click on heads. I don't know how else to explain it. You don't have to drag or anything or track people.
I'm
You
just
just
trying
shoot.
to make recipe or something.
It's pretty
okay.
good. I mean, just
Does everyone
practice
wanna
it. Try a
kill this
deathmatch or
fucking-
two
Yo,
with
everyone
it.
peek this bitch lawn,
Try to
dude.
get some
Save round together,
confidence
kill
in your
her.
shots with it.
She's gonna have her Odin. Get some
Okay.
fucking... it's saving. I
Okay,
can't.
okay.
All
I think
you
I
do
did
is-
bad this whole game.
Get ready, boys. She's gonna peek it.
I'm up. I'm holding
After
it.
she's gonna wall, then peek. That's what she does every... I mean, she's not here.
Nope.
Okay, then.
I threw a ton of util. What? Okay, what is that angle? Right there. Nice.
Nice.
Could be in hookah, could be in hookah.
Again, I don't like that
Under hookah,
smoke.
under
I would have
hookah.
placed him more to the right, because if I place him more to the right, I can be sure that there's no one holding the close left angle on the wall. Because, like, look now, you can see that there's a big area that's not smoked off, where an enemy can be. And if I was playing defense and I was playing on elbow and you throw that smoke, I'm 100% sure that I would still be holding that angle. Because
You
I
just
can.
step out.
Yeah, I would be, but because like look at it from this perspective, I'm still safe. You still can't see me if you peek long, but I can still hold the window on hookah.
Okay.
Like you want to deny the angle to the fullest, and if you provide space for them like this with cover and everything, it's not really a useful smoke. The only angle you blocked off is like the all the way back on elbow, but you didn't block off the left side of the wall. If you see what I'm saying.
Okay.
Like think just from this perspective, when you're smoking something off, how would you react to see yo smoke there? I see this like even in like diamond elo and high platinum elo, like people play smokes probably filling or something, right? And like on the CT side of B, like this is one smoke that you threw and there's the CT smoke, right? They throw the
hmm
CT smoke, but they don't push it in enough, and they leave space for the defensive team to rotate because they didn't push the smoke into the doorway. So you have more space to like
Mm,
go out and then go behind the site so they can't see you from hookah. So like when you're thinking about smokes, think about how would you react if you were on defense and you saw that smoke. Would you be able to play around it? Would you be able to use it in some way? And does it deny an angle that you're holding right now?
okay.
Sorry, dude.
No, you good.
Alright, can we go out? I'm gonna go shower. Someone please come with me this time. Like,
How many games do you play a day
Ready, can
of
you just come in
competitive?
with us?
It varies. Like I took a break last 2x. So I just recently started playing again. I would say probably 6.
Yeah. If you play a bunch of games, just keep a thought in mind that you might be burning yourself out. So like it might be more healthy to like take 5 games instead of 6 and take like a break or just like I don't know, walk around the room, drink some water and something just to like get some activity in. I personally like that. I play in binges, so I feel the pain of playing like 8 games and then on the fucking 8 game I can't like even think straight. So like
Mhm.
just some small exercises, like just getting out of your chair and walking to the kitchen to drink some water or like wash your face or something. Like a 2 minute break can like mean a lot.
Oh, okay.
Cause like, yeah. Like, oh my god.
Shit, shit, shit.
Yep. Boom butting?
He's got a TP, watch right.
Yeah. I'm gonna get the orb. Yeah, TP. They're flashing. Nading it. I'm watching the front showers. Nice. Good trade, good
An
trade.
important
I think
thing
we
to
go, let's
consider
go B,
about
let's go B.
shooting through smoke, right? You don't want to be shooting through smokes, especially not with the Vandal, but even with the Phantom, from common angles. So if you peek from that side of the corner and pre-fire through the smoke, some people will just automatically, like on even, I wouldn't call it mouse aim, but just like brain aim, look and ask, okay, where could the enemy be shooting at me from? And say, well, there's a corner there that's usually played and people usually contest it. So they'll fire at the corner and sometimes they will kill you just purely on luck because you play a
Okay.
common corner. So if you're like pre-firing through smoke, sometimes it might be smarter to just like push a bit more around the corner, not being covered but still fire. But you have to be careful because the Vandal you can see the traces and on the Phantom you can't. So like especially when you're playing with the Phantom, you don't want to be on like a corner. You want to be more to the right or so.
Oh, okay.
Because I mean,
Yeah,
again,
they're
like
gonna
I'm trying
refire.
to explain it, but I'm not sure if I'm getting the message across. If you're standing behind the smoke and you get shot from, you're gonna usually try to shoot back, and you're trying to rationalize where can the enemy be on the other side of the smoke. So, like if I was in lamps here and you shot me through the smoke, I would assume, all right, he's probably on the left or the right corner. And if you were with a Vandal, I could confirm which of the corners it was, and I'd always try to fire back.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That Odin's still gonna be there wanting to rape our asses.
Nah, he's probably rotated by now. Just run. I'll go long.
Again, we discussed this before, but whenever you peek around the corner, you look at the wall and not in the open space that you're trying to cover.
I don't know if we want to push this.
Yeah, I got that from oh man, what was it? Because so I always it's not like a depending on the situation. Like here, I was already running, and so the plan was to always like wide peak the angle. And so I knew like that like that's the thought process. Not saying that I'm right. I'm just saying that was the thought process behind it. Was that if I'm going to wide peak the angle anyway, by the time that I come around that corner, that's why you see me pre-aiming at the wall.
Yeah, I see that, but that's like that's usually just laziness, right? Like you're too lazy to cover around the wall as you peek it. Like if you're trying to pre-fire an angle, then I understand it. But if you're just aiming and not confirming your shots, it's kind of risky, isn't it?
Yeah.
Dude, I promise you there's an Odin.
It's here. Got her. Let's go. Yo, elbow. Guys, elbow. I don't have a smoke there.
One enemy remaining.
On site. Nice.
I just lagged so bad, bro.
Echo, were you on smoke timer? Yeah, you were.
Yeah, 6 seconds. Because I smoked CT.
Yeah.
I got all. We can push
Wait,
this
so we got the Reaver, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll buy you.
Alright, let's get it.
There you go. Let's go. Let's try. Let's gotta pick A again. They're really aggressive there, honestly. Someone come shower with me. Actually, so can he arrow for showers? Got Reyna. Never mind. Get the orb if you want.
Yeah, at this point you're autopiloting for sure. You tossed the smokes out, did you rationalize it first because of the Viper's fall, but now that the Viper wall has changed, you haven't changed your smokes to cover for
One heaven.
that change, if you see what I'm saying.
Here, ult the side.
Like you even saw the smoke before you threw the first one, so...
Close heaven.
Playing from my
On CT.
ult, or my orb, or my fucking, I don't know what it's called.
Nice. So they still have him.
One enemy remaining.
Nice, last one.
Flawless.
Got him.
Nice.
Pretty clean round from your team. Just
Last
eliminated
round
everyone.
before the switch.
Mhm.
I got ult. I'm gonna ult this round. Let's go B again. Right.
The showers, I'm having good luck there. Yeah, I'm surprised. I haven't been breeze flashed this entire game, honestly.
Yeah, I haven't either.
Yeah, again, you see the Viper wall, and you still commit to your own smokes.
Wanna come showers with me, please?
I'm coming.
Oh, there's here. Yeah, I'll wait.
Yeah, I got ult.
One's triple. Oh,
Oh, I got this guy.
nading it? Wait.
Deploying drone.
Heal up, if you want triple, can you flash?
You can rotate if you want.
Right, watch out. Backside, got her. Another one, there's another one there. On tip, please. One heaven. One's in
Nope.
heaven right now.
One more heaven.
What?
Heaven.
One enemy
Last one
remaining.
heaven. Play together.
Still heaven. Just gotta drop.
Nice. We win this.
Has a solid attack. Fuck.
Yep.
Switching sides.
Here we.
Okay, just one thing that I had as a thought there. You had a solar drone go through the smoke, check the close right corner, and then look at sight. So you can count off the cheese angle on the right, and you have a Viper wall so you can count off the wall on the left. So there's like no one on your close that can be looking at you. You also smoked heaven, so you can like kinda assume that there's no one there. I'd still like, as you leave the smoke, look at heaven, because as we discussed, people can play aggressive on the heaven and just move through the smoke and still have an angle on you. But then it marked Killjoy, at least saw her on the map, and you didn't react. You still stood in the smoke and did nothing, even though you knew that everything in front of you is clear, and you could have just pushed in and got her while she was rotating.
Okay.
Because, like, from my perspective, you had all the information you needed. You knew that everything next to you was clean, that it was safe to push in. So that's my look at it. You didn't have to wait for the omen smoke to go away when you had the drone just check everything for you.
Yeah, I think I definitely play like way more passive than I probably should, and I think what I was thinking during that time was that someone after the drone died, and I was just thinking that someone, knowing my luck, that someone would have pushed up through.
Okay.
Alright, we gotta play a little aggressive. We have 0 sentinels, so.
I can throw a wall all the way through hookah long and an orb short, so it's gonna be tough for them to push.
I'm gonna play B with you guys actually.
I have to go for a little bit after this game.
Okay.
Yeah, I gotta get off after this. Get some pump some iron.
Alright, okay, that's fine. Go back for a waterfall back on. So, but can you play long? Either of you there? Nope. I'll be. Or at least 4B, then. So I'm going long.
Wall's going down.
I'm rotating.
We're just pushing hookah.
Do you know the one-way smokes on Omen?
Got one, I'm dead.
Like how
Yeah, I
you
do.
place them in some boxes?
Okay.
Yeah,
Got
just a
some
thing
blind
to
kills,
consider
nice.
about it. They're not only deadly, but they
happening
like
that.
just
In
deny
hookah,
pushes.
always
People
saves
are
in
way
hookah.
more scared to push through a one-way
Wall
smoke, even at a smoke that only appears as a one-way,
Back
than
hookah,
through
back
a
hookah.
regular smoke.
Standing on top of the box.
There's two there.
It
two
just
there.
looks more menacing.
Mm-hmm.
Spam him.
Gotta stop spamming. They're going back on
Almost
me.
got the flank.
Just get one.
One
Yeah.
enemy
Nice,
remaining.
nice.
Spike down B.
Last one.
Someone's lurking.
No. Yeah, same place.
Okay,
Okay.
unfortunate. But again, just crosshair placement, work on it, and you'll do fine.
I see you.
I think I panicked there. I knew he was behind me because I heard him.
Yeah. I mean, it was a good guess anyway. Since you killed 2 of his teammates, he must have been somewhere close, as there were only 3 of them.
I don't think it's anything to you. They didn't try to like, pretty
Yeah,
small
look at
way.
this. Like, this is exactly what I
gonna go for a
talked
flank.
about. Like, you pre-fired the left corner. It's
Like,
not
come
something
here,
you
come here, come
were
here, come here.
thinking about, but there was just like a regular reaction. So when you're shooting from like through smoke,
Oh, no,
you don't want to be on a corner because people will
I'm gonna flash
preemptively
market
fire
and
at it.
coming in now,
Mm-hmm.
what the hell? Wait, they forced?
Cross placement and just panicked moved.
I'm rotating.
Okay.
Okay,
Sage literally 1 health.
it happens.
Dude,
I
was
rarely go
spraying
for
at
the
someone,
RS,
dude.
I don't like the
I
gun
was
honestly.
picking
I feel
omen
like
and
the Spectre
spraying at the same
provides
time.
more
I was
utility.
sprayed- I
But
was spraying
I
omen
was
the entire
assuming
time
like
the range
you
still couldn't
counting
kill
on them playing behind the wooden box, you wanted to get the wall penetration or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, alright, I can see that.
Yeah, I usually do pick the Spectre over the Ares, and I think I only bought it that 1 round.
Yeah.
And I killed the Reyna too.
I'm trying to see what you were thinking, so that was my way of rationalizing it, so I guess
Mm-hmm.
I was true at
Yeah,
that.
I'm gonna put this 1 way up, you can chill with it.
Let's get it.
Some B. LS one maybe.
Maybe they're pushing A. At least one.
Okay. No one's peeking. Bridge is peek. Dead. Bridge is market. They might push B off that. I think one is sure rotate B.
Look at your crosshair placement again. You're looking at the wall.
Yeah, I
Why
think
if
they're
someone
coming.
peeks as you're
They're
looking,
pushing
just
B, I
walk
think.
out.
They're pushing
Yeah,
B.
again,
Pushing
how-
B. Bridge out of hookah.
Still knows that. Hold on.
Nice. Say don't say it.
2 garden.
Yeah, they're all B. They're all B.
I heard 1 lurking A. Okay, he went to TP.
Not sure.
Lit 102
Last
inside.
player
I'm back to
standing.
it. That's fine. We're on the bonus.
Yeah, you're
Yeah,
looking
you
at
just
like
sit
head
back
level
here,
there,
wait
but
for
you're
the
not
bonus.
counting in
Yeah,
the
that's
elevation on the stairs.
Fuck the eco.
I think I just saved my gun here.
Yeah, it's fine.
Which I can barely buy. I will not have an orb this round, Arena.
Oh, no, wait, they all-
Give you that 1 way if you
They
want.
pushed me. They pushed me. That's right.
Yeah.
No shower with a shorty.
Oh, this one's funny.
So I get the orb.
Let's see.
There's 4 A long.
Okay. I'm gonna. I'll stay B for now.
They're not actually pushing just yet.
Yeah, I feel like it's a. I think 1A should come back to B. I think that's a fake. I'm holding long.
Wall's gonna go down.
Don't see anything hookah. They smoked B. They smoked B. They're pushing hookah. Naded it. On side already.
There now, there.
Got the one. Stage 1 on 2. On site. On site. Nice. Still B lobby. They know you're there. Wait, in hookah. In hookah. Breach in hookah right now. Omen's got the flank.
Could be behind.
1 enemy remaining.
Last one, I don't know.
30 seconds
2
left.
TP.
So we're just going from plan
Yeah,
to
again, I
plan.
mean,
I
it's
have
a
a
fine
lot-
play.
there's a lot
You're
that
just
raise
constantly
and
not
Alright, Omen in.
peeking at head level.
Spike planted.
Well, I feel like a
She's in
parrot
showers,
repeating
nice.
it over and over again.
It's okay.
I love like looking back at my old games. Like you don't recognize how much you do it until like you
got
look
a
at
lot
the
of value out of
game.
that shorty, didn't you?
Like,
Yeah, this is my first VOD review. So yeah, I had no idea how often I did it.
He's got one, but still,
Got
it's
the one, but then I
hilarious.
got the gun.
Yeah.
$200 weapon to get a $2,900.
Yeah, like it's
I
like
mean,
a
yeah,
common
it's
tip
just like-
people
it's
give.
just like
Care
unfair,
for your
basically.
crosshair placement,
Yeah.
and you thinking, oh, I'm
Except for
doing
the
it all
get
the
me
time,
too,
and
buy
I'm
it
still
on physical.
dying when I peek.
Except for in the league.
And
die.
people
Mhm.
run
Yeah,
and
Reno-
I don't get the
Reno works
headshot,
so
and then you
late.
look at the wall and you're
Yeah.
not doing it.
Oh, you leave
Yeah.
that fire over there.
I'm B right now. Kill the turret here. I'm gonna play back in hookah.
Could be.
I hear one market right now.
Oh, he fucking saw me. That's ass. They're pushing.
I'm gonna stay B.
I think they're pushing side. Yeah.
Oh, man. 80 on Omen.
I'm not sure what you could have done there, but aimed better. I think you panicked moved on the second burst and like fucked the recoil of it up.
Mhm.
But it's hard to see from the clip.
So we can either long.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Oh, they're Reyna DC. Let's go.
Right the DC call out, my lord.
I have 4 ults here, so let's
Let me know when your orb's about to go down, and then I'll...
I'm just I'm not even gonna do a one way. It's too tempting to be other here.
Yo.
That's so fuck. Yeah, we got pre-fired. I'm just gonna rotate. Nice.
Yeah, this is exactly like this is a perfect example of what I was talking about when I said you look at the wall way too much.
TP accidentally.
Here you looked at the wall, and when the sage went to the left because there was actually an enemy there, you had to flick your crosshair.
I'm gonna
Like she didn't walk into your crosshair, and you didn't let her walk into your crosshair or anything. You were looking at the wall, so when she was there, you had to correct it. So that's the thing you definitely have to practice.
Yeah, same with the Killjoy too. Even though I got the frag, yeah.
boom back. He's here.
One enemy remaining.
Nice, last one TP. He's gonna come around or he's gonna save. TP.
Shower. Just go play up on bomb.
Play back. You don't have to push him. So we have dart.
Revealing area.
Going around.
Yeah, you could go around. He's short.
You gotta be careful more of your
The
guns
second I put
model.
my boom out, the omen
There,
peaked. That's
I'm
what I wanted.
100% sure that Breach could have seen your
Start line again.
tip of your gun.
Get a drop?
I have ult.
Yeah.
Need a drop.
I have ult for retake.
Thank you.
This is an awkward like thing for me to coach. Like the last thing I coached was like a really good Counter-Strike player, so like he had all the mechanics down, and I only had to think about rotations and utility. But you use utility like pretty decently,
Yeah, do that.
but your core like moving and shooting is definitely like a bigger problem.
Mhm.
Oh, he's here there? Fuck. Dude, yeah, that's why I need to be closer, man.
You're panicking too much. I see that you're changing positions now with Viper. I don't understand what's going on.
And hookah. Oh, fuck. That's on.
Okay, now
I
they're
have
on
ult
B.
if
Now
you
you're
can,
like
just chill.
sure where
Nice,
they
nice.
are.
Kill it long. And hookah, at least 2, I think. They're pushing hookah. We have Viper all for retake.
Oh, there's 4 of them. I'm probably.
I'm just gonna chill.
Do you know how to cancel the teleporter with Omen?
Down B.
He's under hookah.
Oh, to do the
180.
the TP thing.
Yeah, the cancel like when you jump and do
Yeah.
the shrouded step.
Corner, he's under hook.
Wait, I think he got it. The bomb. Could be like top side or something stupid.
30 seconds left.
What?
It's right behind that sage wall.
He's inside side. Nice.
That's a
Yeah.
nice
Lit.
flick.
Defenders.
Well, it's fine. How do you feel? Like, have you learned anything? I mean,
Oh yeah, definitely realized I have a terrible habit. I know where it looks like I'm like autopiloting. I'm looking at my mini map. I've caught myself a bunch of times where I'll like zone out and look at my mini map, and then someone will peek and I'll die. So
yeah.
that's something that I actively need to work on, like only taking a quick glance at the mini map and not just like staring at it.
I do this all the time when I'm expecting my allies to confirm something. Like I'm thinking constantly where the enemies are and what they're doing. So when I expect an enemy to show up on the radar because let's say my teammate sees it, I do it all the time as well. So I try to like focus on only like looking at it like every few seconds for like a short split second and then focusing back on my crosshair. So like not to get the temptation going to go back on and focus on the minimap.
Yeah, no,
Especially like if you see that there's like players like if you're playing defense and there's players that are lurking constantly, either because they're like tilted or because they are doing it properly. Like you saw when you were playing the shorty round, like you call Reina, she just wasn't with her team for some odd reason.
lurking, Reyna's. No, I think I learned quite a bit. Didn't realize my crosshair placement was that bad. So now it's definitely something that I'll focus on moving forward. And then tracing corners. Didn't realize I wasn't doing that either.
Yeah, like just try this when you play the next game of this format. Like doesn't matter competitive, unrated, whatever. Just focus on whenever you're moving. No matter what you have in hand, always follow corners as you cross them, and always keep the crosshair at head level. And there's like something to be learned after that is only like the changes in elevation and where to look when. Like sometimes I saw you were holding the crosshair properly, but then when you peek, you don't correct the crosshair for the elevation that's on the map. So here, like when you peeked in market, when you were trying to rotate, you never corrected your crosshair above, even though that in the market there's like steps that put the enemies on a higher elevation than you.
Hmm.
So that's something also to consider. And yeah, just moving around the map and following the corners and keeping it at head level, that's gonna help you immensely, honestly.
So I appreciate your time, and I will definitely implement that into my game and practice immediately.
Yeah, it's all good. I hope I was of any help. If you ever get any more words, just send a message, and if I have time, I'll help you out.
Sounds good. I think I'll practice this a little bit more, and then the next VOD, hopefully, I'll have improved, and then we can work on something different.
Yeah, it's all good. Thank you.
If you ever put that video up, can you drop me the link so I can watch it?
Yeah, I'll see how it records.